I was a Marine and I wanted to protect the Constitution of the United States, and now all of a sudden it doesn't apply to me. That rubs me the wrong way. And secondly is that's my faith. My commitment to God was to give thanks after every game, and nobody should have to worry about being fired for just, being thankful to their Lord.
That was Joe Kennedy on the show a couple of months ago. Joe's the public high school football coach from Washington State who lost his job after he led a post-game prayer on the field. He is currently awaiting a decision from the Supreme Court on whether or not the school violated his rights by letting him go. Tonight, Sports Illustrated facing criticism for publishing an article about Kennedy and tweeting a potential win for him in the case would be, quote, an erosion of a bedrock of American democracy. Joining us now for more on this, trending and entertainment reporter Mike Gunz. So, Mike, you heard the statement from Sports Illustrated, but at the end of that interview we just played, this is what the coach had to say. We have this clip.
If you could say one thing to the justices making that decision for this case, what would you say to them? What would be your message tonight?
Oh, just look at the facts of the case and rule on that.
So if he has that opinion and the Supreme Court justices make their decision, what's the argument that this could be an erosion of the bedrock of American democracy in your view?
I mean, Sports Illustrated needs to calm down. That article, I read that whole thing. It's like Cry Me a River. The fact that they described this and what would happen as an erosion of American democracy is crazy. And I don't know what's happening right now in sports journalism, because we're seeing it from ESPN to now like the Tampa Bay Rays, because some of them didn't celebrate LGBTQ and the Pride Month, that they got criticized for it. All of a sudden, it's no more stick to sports right now. We're getting politics are now moving into the sports world. So Sports Illustrated taking, rightfully so, in my opinion, a lot of heat for this, because just as the coach said during that interview, the bottom line is just look at the facts, okay? He is waiting till after the game. He's praying for just a couple seconds by himself. Okay, that's key in this, because it's not like he's forcing the players or coercing them to have to, to pray with them, or say he's benching them if they don't pray with them. He's literally doing it on his own. And think about all those players that, what do they do after they score a touchdown? They kneel and thank and pray to God. Or somebody gets hurt on the field. What's the first thing you do? You take a kneel, or you take a knee. How about Tim Tebow? The only reason he has a career right now is because we were all Tebowing that he made it popular from praying on one knee during football. So the bottom line is, I think these justices will rule in favor of this coach, because he's not forcing his beliefs on anybody else. He should be free to do so.
Mike, and I think you raise a really interesting point here. I think sports mixing with politics is tiring for many. A lot of people are looking to sports to kind of take a break from all of this, but depending on how this decision falls, what are the implications nationwide in your view?
Well, what we're seeing right now is anything that has to do with religion is getting attacked. Okay. And, with the social media mob and mentality, if it's not woke, then it's suddenly wrong. So what's going to happen is, this coach his life will never be the same. No matter where he goes, there will always be people that will criticize him and go after him for this belief. So it's depending on how the decision goes, either way, his life will never be the same, and perhaps not for the better, because there are going to be so many people that disagree and hate him for this. Sports Illustrated, calm down. You read that article, a lot of it goes beyond just this coach, because in the article they're talking about the group that's kind of funding the lawsuit for him in his defense. They bring up like Christian conservatism. They bring up, of course, Trump and the so-called Muslim ban and the border wall. So it goes beyond this. It's an attack on somebody, rather than right now in society. There's no talking things out. If you disagree with somebody, it's go online and just attack them. There's no civil discourse happening right now, and we're just seeing these repeated and lame and just annoying arguments, for lack of better words, over and over. Rather, like you're publicly shunning somebody or being like, no, you can't do that. It's like, well, what do you mean? Like, by you telling me I can't, you're infringing on my rights to not do what I want. So it's a bizarre world. It's crazy what's happening these days.
Well, let's take a snippet from that Sports Illustrated article. I just want to put it up for a second. It says he's a human embodiment of a country that's deeply divided, a religious movement that's surging with momentum, even as organized religion becomes increasingly less popular, and most of all, a powerful right-wing machine many say is employing a timeless division tactic, us versus them. So, I mean, is this an us versus them situation? It doesn't feel like that.
It shouldn't, unless you read this Sports Illustrated article. They're the ones making it us versus them. Just the word choice, the erosion of American democracy, and then going on this tangent about all this stuff in this article. It is absurd. I urge the viewers to read it. It is wild that this had to do with it. Also, good job, Sports Illustrated, because the average person had no idea that this was even going to be happening. Because of your stupid tweet and article, now a lot of people do know it's happening and they don't agree with you. So great job, Sports Illustrated. Congratulations.
Okay, well, I'll bring up one of the arguments on the other side. From a lot of what I watched and researched on this topic, you know, the argument is this is an authority figure, or one of the strong arguments is, and others could feel left out if they aren't participating in a public prayer. Do you believe that has merit? And if so, how do we move forward, making sure no one feels excluded?
Well, we can't. I mean, it's like, oh, the children, you know what I mean? The worry about them. That's what we're seeing all across the country right now. Do I believe with that? Do I believe that? No, because look at the evidence. It's not like he didn't force the kids to have to pray with him. There aren't like reports that, you know, that somebody got benched or somebody wasn't played or got cut from the team because of it. He was literally just doing it by himself. When it started, it would take less than 10 seconds and it was just in the middle of the field. I mean, listen, I played sports my whole entire life. I don't care what belief the coach had, and also he wasn't forcing them to do anything. Like, he really wasn't. So that argument is just grasping for straws, and that's why I don't think the Supreme Court will rule in favor of the school district, and I think they go with the coach.
All right, so we've got about 20 seconds left. I think another really interesting piece of this is people didn't seem concerned or upset if he was doing this in private, but because it was public, that's where some of the riff was. So how do you respond?
I mean, just people are lunatics, okay? I mean, like, everyone's so offended these days about something, and this is why we are where we are as a society, okay? Like, he was in the middle of a field with nobody around him, and he was on the knee for 10 seconds. A player scores a touchdown, they go on the knee. Like, where's the outrage there? Like, or is that now going to be the next thing? Come on, people. Over it.
Well, trending and entertainment reporter Mike Gunz, we appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.